Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is 2019, December 19th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, San Francisco time. And today is Thursday. And we are looking at the phantasmagoria of Flower View. And this is Emily's favorite thing, this game. And today we don't have a topic, so let's cook up some topics, okay? And let's stop this thing. And we have a poultry people number of people watching poultry number 3 people. Oh my god, I'm losing audience, I'm losing fan, because let's see. Okay, so poultry. So let's the word of the day. Okay, first of all, start command log mod. So you can see all my Emacs commands on the left window. Okay, all of them. Wipe them out, all of them. All my Emacs commands on the left window, and so that is prepared. And let's make it pretty pink. Let's say pretty pink. Let's say set background color. Good morning, Crash Hacker. set background color pink. Okay, we love pink because Emily loves pink. Well, Emily loves purple, so let's make it purple. LCD. Let's see what are the colors of purple. Okay, purple or violet, something like that. Okay, thistle. Let's try this thistle thing. Okay, let's try set background color and thistle. Oh, yes, this is perfect. Emily's favorite color. And we need to have a purple heart, but well, in Emacs you cannot have colored emoji. So good morning, a bunch of people. Magpie, and Magpie is from I forgot yesterday. Niagara. That's a country in Central America. Is that correct? Oh, Central America. That's a country where you go to vacation with. Nicaragua. How do you say the name? Okay, so we have to go to Google Maps. Okay, let's go to Google Maps. Yeah, let's go to Google Maps and let's look at the place where Magpie came from. Now that's a place where you go to vacation. Okay, so hold on a second. Shrink. So now we have United States of America. Okay, and you fly to Mexico, and below Mexico you have Guatemala, where I stayed for half a year, uh, 25 years ago. Then you have Nicaragua. Okay, this where you have lots of these. How do you say the as blue as the lake something? Okay, there's that like so Nicaragua in Central America, right in the middle. Yes, indeed. Uh, you know, Basically, I'm thinking Caribbean islands. Now, where is Caribbean islands? Caribbean island is somewhere here. Okay. Oh, Cuba. Cuba is the communist or something. Oh, the Bahamas. Yes, the Bahamas. Okay. Well, let's go back to Nicaragua. Can you say which town or city? So let's look at. So, what is the country Nicaragua? Like what are they? What kind of people live there? So Nabi Young, good morning. Go to Google Translate. Just type it in English section, then pick the speaker icon. Oh, yeah, that's too much trouble though. Nicaragua in Central America. Roll call. Okay, Crash Hacker. Good morning to Japan and India. Charaf, good morning. Hello Lee, I forgot where you from. Freddie Freeman, I forgot where you from. Emily, good morning to UK. Eduardo, good morning to Brazil, I think. Good morning to Alan, California, sunny California, Emily, and Purple Heart. And Justine, good morning, Justine, to Canada. Oh, Canada. And we don't have a topic today. Okay, so we miss. Magpie says, okay. So Nabi Young says, and good morning, Nabi from California, Southern California. Now there's a slight difference between Northern California and Southern California. Slight cultural differences. Wait, am I alive? Make sure that I am not talking without audio. Okay, check Houston status. Check. Okay, you are good to go. So Nicaragua. So I want to, let's drop down to look at some of the sceneries of the um, Nicaragua. So where can we drop down? So Magpie suggest a place. Ni hao, good morning. This is good morning, America. Well, this is good morning, China. Oh, good morning, China, man. Good morning. Uh, can hear. Okay. So Magpie says, I live in the capital city of uh, Managua, Spanish speaking third world country. Oh, third world country. Managua. So let's look at. Are you a Emacs user? How did you find me? So here is the capital of Nicaragua. Okay, something like that. And here is Managua. And they speak Spanish here. Okay, and now as you look at Google Maps, you can also get certain information. You see, they don't have street maps. I mean, they don't have the street view except a few, selected places. Meaning, now that has significance if you are studying, if you are observing the world. The significant, well, one thing you learn from this is that apparently, so for some reason, maybe political, that Google, are not allowed to drive around in this place, something like that. Okay, so that's what I see. So the Magpie says, okay, he lives in Managua and Spanish speaking, and it's a third world country. I was fortunate enough to have good education and native English speaker, and I do a bit of Japanese and French. Oh, good. Okay, so let's drop down to some of these places. Okay, let's drop down to Street View and see what it is like. Oh, cars. Oh, cars. Cars. We must have dropped into some Honda, Toyota dealer. It's an array of shiny cars. Or is this a motel or something? Okay, you have panorama. Okay. Uh, So Magpie says, software engineer, I've been thinking about learning Emacs. I use Linux and different IDEs at the moment. Oh, that's interesting. Software. So you are not a Emacs user as of now, but you are thinking about it. So anyway, we are looking at this. Look, guys, look. Another interesting thing. Now, this is Google Maps. And here we have license plates. They are not censored. Okay, this indicates to me that this either there's a bug in Google software or there's something, some feature they still need to add, or this panorama is created by people, but Google don't have, the censorship of the car plates for some reason. So anyway, that's an interesting thing we looked. So let's pick another. Yeah, it's back to Mountain View again. Mountain View. Well, that's back to Nicaragua. Okay, I think maybe we should change the subject, change to something interesting. Let's see what other people say. So we don't have a topic, right? Okay, so guys, so you post programming or whatever topics, then we can talk about it. Like, so beautiful place, just not very well off economically. Economically, if you want nice tourist place, check out Kong Island and Granada. Oh, okay. Okay, all those cars are white. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, what's the deal? Uh, Granada. So Magpie says Granada is kind of a tourist place. So let's drop in, have a look. Granada. Like, can we see all the reef? Reef beach. That those kind of places. Okay, they don't have street maps, so let's just drop in a random place. Random. Good morning, Cool for School says, do you use Ogmod? Not really. I talked about that many times. I use just raw HTML. I don't use Ogmod. Ogmod is great, but I use raw HTML because I've been writing raw HTML since 1996. Okay, so we are looking at Granada, which is a city, apparently a tourist city in Nicaragua. Okay, so they speak Spanish here, and we see some sort of. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that's it. Nicaragua, interesting, and let's mark down, and let's go back to turn on auto click. Uh, how do you spell the place? Hold on a second. We are back to the word again. Okay, so it's Nicaragua. Okay, okay, okay. So that's one of the topics. And what's next? So we've been talking for 12 minutes without topic. So this is random chat. And guys, join Discord. Okay, join Discord. We have vibrant discussions on Discord, vibrant, including including certain things I don't like. Okay, different people have different opinions and different of styles of expression. So I don't want to go nutty about it. But yesterday there's a guy who is kind of insincere, and I banned him. Anyway, so let's see. Do you use Ogma? No. Okay, Magpie says for reefs, look at Kong Island. Okay, for reefs, right? Those beautiful beach where you see azure. Yes, a lake as blue as azure. Now, by the way, that's a reference from the Clockwork Orange. You guys know you guys know. Now this is getting sensitive. Xali Clockwork Orange. This is getting into the forbidden zone. Now, if you click that, you're gonna see several screenshots of the movie A Clockwork Orange, which is a classic movie, and it has a some kind of cult following movie. The subject matter of that movie is pretty serious. It's about society and well, how do you explain that? Punishment, society, reform, education of problematic people like street gangs. That is movie Clockwork Orange. Have you guys seen it? So I don't know if I should click that, because if I click that, that's a screenshot of that movie, and Google is not going to like it. So anyway, so El Mundo. So yeah, so Azure. So I was talking about Azure, the word Azure, Azur, and that's a line from Clockwork Orange. Violence, ultra violence. That's what that movie is about. Freddie says, "Do you like to travel?" Yes, yes, I do, but I don't have money. So, have you been to Europe? No, I have not been to Europe, but there is a plan upcoming that I'm going to visit Germany. So let's go back to Google Maps. So I'm gonna tell you guys I'm going to visit Germany in February or in March, probably. Okay, it's up to me. And it's a free trip. So it's going to be my first time in Germany, and I'm going to visit in the area around Cologne. Okay, somewhere close to that. And I'm going to visit a math professor. It's an invitation for so I'm going to stay there for 2 weeks, and it's gonna be first time. So have you been to Europe? So do you drink alcohol? No, I like to. Sometimes I do, but in general I don't. Which CPU do you use? Which CPU do I use? I use a Mac. I'm on a Mac. I'm on a Mac Mini. Okay. So let's show. So you can see. So you turn around this slowly. That's me talking, and you go down. You look at my. I'm drinking coffee, milk plus coffee beans plus honey. Okay, and there it is, my Kinesis keyboard. So imagine my camera is a spaceship. So it's gonna fly over, then over to my mouse, and then there it is. There it is, my Mac Mini, and then there is this monitor given to me, and you zoom out, then you go back to my visage, my mugshot. Woohoo! So visit Bart. Bart is Bart in Cologne area? Well, I don't know. And there is Matt. Matt is also there. Matt is not here today. Uh, it's nice. When you are younger, I can do that. But now I'm older. When you are older, let me give you guys a tip. Okay, when you are younger, you can sleep in the couch. You can go around Europe or whatever, America. If you are in Europe, you go to America, go to Canada. You can stay at my place for a few days. You can stay at your friends, online friends' place. You can say online friends. You talk to them. Hey, I'm going to come be over there. Do you have you can ask people, so they will invite you to stay at your home for 1 day or two, so you can travel around. But when you are younger, you can do that freely. But when you are older, you are less welcome. Okay, so that's just the way things are. And infinite sauce. So I'm in the same latitude as Cologne, by the way, just way west. Okay. Yeah. So do I? I could visit, but the other thing is I don't have money. Like literally, like consider me as a hobo. Someone living on the street. A bit better, but I don't have money. So if I'm going to go to you guys, if I'm going to take invitation from you guys, yeah, I can visit for a day, but it's gonna be me going there, and I'm not gonna pay a thing because I cannot. That's a sad but true. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Uh, topics about topics. Well, the thing about topics in my live stream is that like today we don't have a topic. It's instead of thinking of it as I need some topic and you gonna post some topic. That's not it, because I know a lot of topics because I can start to talk about computer science. I can start to talk about food in Asia, or keyboards, or anything, or TCP/IP, or Linux tutorials, Linux in general, or the history of HTML. It's like I can start to go random. But that does not, like, kind of the that's not the thing. I mean, that's not a thing. I can start to talk about camel. But the thing is, like, when you are it's like this, okay? Like when you are chatting with a friend, you have a friend, just, who visited you, or maybe a coworker at workplace. You don't begin, you say, hi, how are you, hey, haven't seen you for a while, and you guys start to talk, right? And you obviously, you guys, don't have a topic. Like, it's nobody have a topic. But topics happen naturally. You start to talk about something, then one thing leads to another. Then maybe you start to talk about the culture, or the some programming technology, or where tech industry is going, or what happens with AI, or talking about math. Things happen naturally. You start to talk, but you don't, like, hey, how are you? And hey, we don't have a topic yet. Can you suggest, like, at least 10 topics, and we're gonna start to talk about that? So that's what I'm saying. So, like, I mean, it's great. So we have to kind of like, if you have a question, or if you have made some comments, then I read it. Then, oh yeah, I have some opinions. Then I started to say something about that. Then maybe you disagree, or you want to add to something about that. Then we started to have kind of like the conversation grows, right? But it's not. But when you meet a friend or a group of people, you don't. Let's say you have a party or something. You don't gather together and say, "Hey, we don't have a topic. Can we start to list of topic?" And someone start to give a list of topic. That's kind of like a meeting. That's like a conference. You do that. Uh, well, yeah, I can. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't. If you're gonna just give me a list of topic, I cannot. It doesn't start the conversation. There's no spark. You need a spark to start the engine. So that's what I'm saying. That's kind of how I feel. Uh, so video conference broadcast. Yes, there is a delay. Yeah, 10 seconds. Very annoying. I think it's 10 seconds. So, what are you going again? When are you going again? Sometimes in February or March. Undecided yet. Basically, now I have to make a decision. Um, I'm kind of like procrastination. That's my decision. Uncertain and undecided, because I hate, filling out forms, and then also it means I have to go out and apply for get a passport. I think my passport last time I used is like 15 years ago, so I have to go, get a passport and those kind of things. Uh, so Emily, where are you, Emily? Emily, say something. Emily is off work. And Alan says, okay, so I asked you, so post, I would like them again. So what, Alan, what question? I mean, do you like what something interesting? Okay, let me tell you guys this. Okay, so we have this Discord, which is great, and I'm thinking, I always wanted to. I'm thinking, let's let's have some kind of mini tutorial, like mini presentation, mini talk of each of you guys. Okay, each of you guys, you can, for example, Emily, she knows, she knows many things we don't know. She knows Erlang programming. She knows keyboards, happy hacking, the details, the hacking of the happy hacking keyboard. She's gonna take it apart, reinstall the key switches and things like that. And she has, take it apart, replace the firmware, and remap the key. So she has a lot to talk about. So she can give us, for example, a mini lesson, okay, like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and she can, it's up to you if you want to go on video, but she can, like, talk about, tell us about that topic, so we can actually learn. Uh, for those of you interested, and I know a lot of you are interested in keyboards, on how to, especially happy hacking keyboard, where to buy things, how do you replace the keycaps for happy hacking keyboard, because happy hacking keyboard is not the Cherry MX keyboard. Okay, Xali happy hacking keyboard block. Okay, let's go to keyboard block. So there are many interesting things she can tell us about. Like, so it's like a lightning talk in today's jargon. In San Francisco, we have lots of meetups, so she can give us some kind of talk about happy hacking keyboard. By the way, there's a new version coming out, brand new from Japan. This is just announced last week, and it's already out in Japan. You can buy happy hacking keyboard. It's, I think it's $300 US dollars, and I think it's not available in USA yet. So you can fly to Japan. Oh, but you can fly to Japan and buy it. By the way, Crash Hacker, did you finally go to the Akihabara yet? Cause you need a keyboard. You need to join the keyboard club. So anyway, so this new version of Happy Hacking Keyboard you can buy in Japan right now. And so what's new about it? Well, they added, finally, the Happy Hacking Keyboard is now programmable. So you can reprogram the keys, by firmware. So back to what I'm saying. So Emily can talk about these kind of things, or networking, or give an intro about Erlang. Why is it great? Erlang is kind of a functional language, um, and she can talk about that. And Alan, for example, Alan can talk about, so Alan can talk about linguistics, or what, introduction to linguistics, or what is the academia like in the linguistic department, or anything. I think people will find interesting things, other people don't know. So Alan, would you be interested? I started to ask people about that. So you would you be interested, like giving a 15 minutes talk on some topic, linguistics, or whatever you like, or what is your coders, programming life is like, working in California, or anything. So we can do that in the Discord channel. Like, I would set up a time, like, or we set up a time, like, so today 10 o'clock, for 20 minutes Alan is gonna talk about something. We have a schedule, though. Then on that day, people just swarm into that voice channel, and we listen to Alan talk about his things. And next day, Emily is gonna talk about this topic, and we go there and we listen to it. And in a similar way, Crash Hacker can talk about, you know uh, AI technology in image recognition, or what is India like? What is India technology industry like? Things like that. Anything that other people don't know. And Nabi, okay, guys, respond. Okay, guys, Nabi can tell us about his work, at this giant gaming company, and what is gaming, the different type of games. Nabi plays Final Fantasy 14, and Nabi introduced us. What is a game like? Why is it interesting? So many things. And Nabi has also a fancy battle station. He's got ergodox, and he's also got a Razer, fancy Razer gamepad, and he's also got a 20 button, 23 button, 25 button mouse from Razer. And Nabi is can tell us about uh, his setup. He has his elaborate setup. So that's what I'm thinking. We can talk about this. Nabi says, I don't know about anything. Okay. So I'm thinking about that, and of course, and Justin, well, Justin haven't been on Discord much, but Justin can tell us about Haskell, like introduction. So anyway, that's just some ideas I have, because I want to learn, I want to learn many things I don't know. Many things I don't know. For example, Erlang I don't know, but Emily is learning it, so it would save me tremendous time if she actually did give a mini introduction, a mini course. For example, I know a lot of things. You guys don't know. I know Emac list, for example. Uh, I know about efficiency of key binding layouts, their history, things like that. I know about Lisp history, the Lisp culture, the hacker types of the among Lisp cultures. So or the history of JavaScript. Many of you guys are not there. This is 1995. So when you don't know, I mean, you can, of course, for example, let's say Emac Lisp, or let's say JavaScript history. You could go to online Wikipedia, then you can start read, but you don't get, you spend 10 hours, you don't get what's going on. Rather, if you have someone who actually knows it, in 10 minutes, it'll beat 1 hour of Wikipedia reading or research, the links and historical docs. You don't know what's going on. So you need someone to give you an intro. For example, Haskell. For example, mathematics. For example, what is group theory? What is algebra? What is for example, if you don't know any math at all, wouldn't it be great someone gives you an overview, like in half an hour you get an overview what is the whole entire mathematical branches, what they are doing, what. In fact, I've done that in the past few videos. So that is the power of teaching. That I mean, the technology grows so fast, exponentially, and each day we become know nothing. Each one of us, we know nothing. Like whatever you think you know, it's like nothing. About history, like you know nothing. That's what I found out. That's my experience. I read encyclopedia every day, basically an hour or so on average, statistically, since 1991. Before internet, I go to library, the Encyclopedia Britannica, and American Squirrel's Encyclopedia, and there's quite a other few. You look at them. So what I found is that basically each person, you know nothing. Doesn't matter. Even if you are a professor, you know nothing. I mean that's not an exaggeration. That's actually true. You don't like it's almost like absolutely nothing about shit. Doesn't matter who you are, unless you are a professor in something very specialized field. Then you know that thing well. For example, you guys, okay, you guys, if you program in C, if you are a C programmer for 10 years, then there is one thing you know, and you know well. That is how to program C, the technical details. But the important thing here, here's a Kasa lesson, okay? The important thing here is that you don't know nothing about programming languages, okay? Most hackers think they do. Okay, for example, Linux programmers, Linux kernel hackers or others, let me, FreeBSD or others, quite a few. Then you start to have opinions. Oh, what operating systems should be? No, no, you know nothing about operating systems. Okay, you know nothing. For example, if you used Linux for 10 years, there's one thing you know, that is how to use Linux. Okay, but you don't know nothing about the operating system design or architecture. So like bullshit. Okay, there are only not many people who knows it. That is professors who specialize in this field. I'm talking about a general my general angst against the hacker types, because when you talk to these hacker types on Hacker News on Reddit, everyone is like they throw jargons. Oh, Haskell. Oh, Monad. Oh, everything should be Monad because this that. They know shit. Okay, so especially, I mean, this. Well, so anyways, that's becoming a rant. So let's see what else. So Nabi can talk about Nabi's setup. That would be great. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna try. Okay. I'm gonna talk to you guys, and I don't know how it goes. And also it's I don't have a goal. Like it's not like this is something I need to do, and so that therefore my channel will grow. It's nothing like that. But I think it's nice. So let's see. Maybe I'll talk to you guys and get that set up. Okay, Justin don't like Discord much. Okay, so yeah, so Discord, is one of the big corporations, and they record everything you type on it. It's in their database permanently. As far as I know, even messages you deleted, and including private messages you send to other people. But what can you do? That's the nature of things, and that applies to basically everywhere, every online website, anywhere. So, and even if you are thinking, oh, I have my own server, no, chances are everything you said on your own server is in a database of CIA. Okay, so don't think you are. Oh, I'm open source or something. Not likely, unless, like I said before, unless you are a professional spy or you are a professional who works in the cryptography industry. Then, if you are such a person, then I can trust that you know a thing or two about that. But like this guy, the guy Snowden, who lives in Russia, he has a talk on interview on uh, on this idiot guy Jogan Snowden. Okay, Snowden Rogan. What's that guy? The radio host. Okay, Joe Rogan. Yeah, that idiot. So Snowden, for example, he whatever he say about crypto analysis, about this security industry, I would put a high trust on it. Okay, so you listen to what he say and pay attention carefully, and only on things that's related to like what he know, like his field, specialized field. Then when he talk about those kind of things, you can kind of trust it. Okay, that's how I judge. So what I'm talking about here. Hold on a second. So this guy Snowden. Okay, so as you know, I mean he's very famous. Because he. So 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 what I'm saying here is, when you judge people, you judge on what is he experiences, not what have he done in the past 10 or 20 years, not the bullshit type of hacker talk. Oh, I know about operating systems, I know about networking, I know about everything. These Lisp programmers, these Haskell programmers, these type of programming languages that's considered elite or Emacs users, they tends to give a huge bunch of garbage. They tends to tell you, what how language should be designed. This is all bullshit. Okay, and this also include famous people, like, for example, let's say Bill Gates. Okay, Bill Gates, the richest person in the world for the past, for like 40 years or so. Bill Gates. So what does he know? He knows Visual Basic. Okay, he knows the 1980s Visual Basics. He's an expert. But after, in the 90s, no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know programming. Okay, so when he talk about, if Bill Gates talk about Visual Basic of 1980s, I would trust it. Okay, when Bill Gates talk about how to run a company, how to manage your company, I trust it. Okay, when Bill Gates talk about anything else, about politics, about how the world should be, that's all bullshit. Okay, that's how I judge. That's my point of view. I hope it's useful to you. I don't know, but that is how I look at things. Okay. So Richard Stallman. So what does Richard Stallman know? Well, so Richard Stallman, when he talks about Lisp history, what Lisp is like in 1980s, I would trust it. When he talk about the history of MIT, the artificial intelligence industry in 1980s, I would trust it. Okay. Anything else, it's pure bullshit, garbage. Okay, that's Richard Stallman. His opinions about license, about economy, about how society should run, that's pure bullshit. Okay, Richard Stallman. So my point here is that that's how I judge things. You want first of all, everybody on this earth, everybody, including president of USA or whatever, actually politicians, they know even less. They know nothing. Okay, politicians, everyone in this earth don't know shit to begin with. You have to memorize that in your mind, embedded in your brain today. Every person, every human animal on this earth knows shit about nothing, including, of course, including yourself. You know shit about nothing, even including what you think you know. You've been working on this for 10 years. You know shit. Begin with that thought in your mind. Then you actually might know a little bit something. That is my opinion overview about what people know. Things like that. Okay. Okay, I don't know how this live stream went. And maybe that's it for today. We don't have a topic, so. Okay, so let's go back. So, what about your opinion? So, what do you think? Counter arguments and counter arguments. So, do you think Xi is bullshit, or do you think what do you think? So Nabi says they know how to talk without saying anything. They are experts on that. Politicians. Yes. Uh, so this time he went nice rant. Okay. So let me, since I'm talking about that topic, okay, let me emphasize, what a person know when you evaluate a person, even if he's famous, like Nobel Prize winners, for example, Einstein. Okay, I mean, this is one of my, you could say, pet peeve. Okay, in modern society, there's a jargon, pet peeve, American jargon. How do you UK people? What is the UK's analogous jargon for pet peeve? So it is my pet peeve. like you like every day you hear people on Twitter, on social networks, they every day they'll say, oh, Einstein say something, oh, so something, Einstein this is that, every day. Fuck, they know nothing. They don't even know the basics of physics. But every day is the quote. Einstein said, oh, imagination is more important than knowledge. Motherfucking crap. Illogical, total, complete bullshit. Then someone will say, "Oh, Bill Gates say something." Or Feynman say something. The physicist Feynman. Oh, then the Linux people. This is particular Linux people or the hacker types. These programmers say, "Oh, HTML, XML is just a stupid version of sex." The fucking idiot. Okay. Then the Haskell people. Oh, the word should be monad. Every programming language should be monad. Okay. Then the Rust idiots. All these are elite. Code. These are code phenomenon. Code. The Rust people, I know many of guys, love Rust. Okay, the Rust people will say, "Oh, Golang is no good because they don't have memory management." That's a fucking bullshit. Okay, fucking entirely bullshit. You know nothing. You know nothing about nothing. So when you talk, so in particular, when you talk about, let me put it another way. So what it must be very, 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 very specific. Okay. So what is your name? That you know. Okay. And you only know it well. What is your age? You know. What's your sexual preference? You know. I don't know. Nobody knows. You know that well. That's an example. Very, 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 very specific. And wow, there's some huge noise in my neighbors, some machinery. God, this happens every day. You don't hear it because this microphone is like noise blocking. I need to close the window. Okay, hold on a second. So actually, let me give you a visage of my window. Okay, so you looking at my mug. So let me show you so you see, here is my computer, and that is a very old computer monitor connect. It's a dust. It's all dust. I haven't turned on for like 2 years now. It's connected to a old PC running Linux. And then there it is, my window, and here is the visage of outside. Let's see. And you can see a worker there. Some kind of they are digging cutting the trees. Okay, they are cutting the trees. So back to the normal broadcasting. And how long have I been talking? 48 minutes. Okay, maybe that's it. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about this phantasmagoria of flower view. That's another topic. Fantastic topic. Okay, so Armand says spending so much time looking at the world in a particular way. So what I've been saying is that the world is the world of things is really huge. If you have to, you don't. I think you don't get this. Like there's a common quote. There's a common saying. There is a common saying that when you are a undergraduate, when you are a sophomore, you think you know everything. Typically, young people are like that. You think you know a lot. Oh, you started to study computer science. You started to study the history of Western philosophy or history of the world, history of USA. You learned names, historical figures. You think you know everything. You are educated, sophomore. Then when you are a PhD student, no, you are not sure anymore because the more you learn, the less you think you know. That's a common saying. When you are a graduate, a professor or postdoc, then you know there's a lot you don't know. It's like that. Okay, so but of course, statistically, this applies to people. When they age, like younger people tends to be like they think they do things they without they are brash. But when you are older, you know a lot more things, but then you are unsure. I mean, there is also a quote from Bertrand Russell or some philosopher. Okay, like they say, being wise is like you a fool. A fool is someone who is sure of everything. Then a wise man or something like that, a genius or wise man, then he's unsure about everything. So that's some of the common wisdoms. So that's what I'm saying too. And this you have to experience it to know. You can't just like you hear me saying it. By tomorrow, you forget it all. You don't remember a thing. You have to, just after 20 years, when you get old, then you become like that. I think there's a interesting thing about what happens, in vampire movies, where vampires they live 1,000 years. I wondered what will actually happen if you live 1,000 years. Uh, Very interesting thing to go into, to think about. So Alan says, so what is so Alan says counter argument. So-called experts often get caught up in their own models. For instance, a chemist might only see the world in terms of chemistry. Yes, indeed. Usually, these experts, when they predict the future, they got it wrong. Because if you study futurology, which is predictions about the future. The very popular among nerds. You study what's going to happen, especially today. We have the big question of AI, artificial intelligence. What will happen? Will it be bad? Will it, and but you study in the past 50 years all the famous people, experts in computer science, in math, or in physics, or celebrities, billionaires, billionaire businessmen who controls the world. They have made predictions about the future. You look at history, usually they are just wrong. They are all wrong. They are all like totally wrong. But rather, those people, there are some opinions which turns out actually correct. But those kind of opinions usually does are they are not from these experts at all. I mean, this is a phenomenon. Like you can go online and do research about that. Okay, so Justin gonna go. So hammer the world looks like nails. So it's counter argument for trusting people talking about their own domain. Uh, yes, but I'm saying, I mean, if you have a chemist expert, you could trust him about chemistry. I mean, like I said, it must be very, very, very specific. So if you have a chemistry expert, then you can, let's say he won Nobel Prize in something chemistry. Then he know that very specific thing very well. That we know for sure. But however, his opinion about, let's say, related things such as chemistry education, how government should sponsor chemistry research, what should be funded, what should not be funded, that I would not trust it then. That's what I'm saying. That is my point. That is actually my point. It must be very, very, very specific. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So yeah. So Alan says a person that studies biology, nutrition, might have some ideas about what is the best way to eat based on their science. However, an athlete traditionalist might have more practical knowledge. Yeah, people don't distinguish opinion from fact. Okay, Armory says. Okay, I'm about done. Okay, 56 minutes. Where are you guys, people? I'm always looking for people. Okay, so Omri, anime. Oh, Am I says. Okay, so Am I says. Actually, science is mostly based on trust, especially with tribalism in Science Act. Scientists tend to bias experiences and observations. Okay, start spying on the workers. What workers? Oh, yeah, they are cutting trees. Huge noise. I thought I knew so much about computers when I was 20. So, so I might say it's true. Even most seasoned researchers only know a specific narrow topic. Okay, what are we doing now? Are we going to shut down? Are we going to shut down? Let's see. So Snowden, okay, you can go watch Snowden's video, and listen to him talk about very specific things. And also among there's another thing about conspiracy theories. They fly off all over the place. It's a mess. It's kind of a mess, and this problem, how do you get society so that how do you manage a society so that each person actually, we have solid good information as opposed to insane or crazy ideas or UFOs or conspiracy theories. And how do you define conspiracy theory, things like that? There's no absolute answer. It's not like there's a magic pill that you can just there's no magic formula, you know on these kind of things. What is conspiracy, what is not. um, it's a permanent eternal problem. Okay, and I'm just giving you my take. Let's say I'm just giving you my take today about what things you can trust. How do you judge upon a person? How do you judge what he knows? Therefore, you can trust. Once you have this idea what he knows, then you can trust that specific thing he says. And there are so many things today in society. I mean, even just in programming, there's game programming. Even in game programming, there are 10 subfields. There's a AI engine, there's a graphics engine, there's a character design, there's a gaming architecture, there's so many. Nobody knows anything. Shit. Everyone knows shit about nothing. You see, because you have to understand the exponential growth of sciences. That's what it means. So in web programming, for example, everyone knows JavaScript. You have like 10,000 libraries, and it's changing every day. Nobody knows like nothing. Uh, yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm going. That's what I'm saying about these things. Okay, so let's look at Discord. Okay, what people are saying. So George is weak. George says a lot of we call Western philosophy is actually Near Eastern philosophy. Western philosophy is pretty young, largely based in Near Eastern philosophy, but divergent. Sorry, replying to way old messages. Okay, but I don't know what George. Okay, the other thing is, you see, I'm talking in my live show, so I can talk about a lot of things. And I can express myself. I can articulate about many complex issues such as philosophy. But since you guys are textual. You guys are using a old technology of text. So other people, I mean, you are not doing a good job of expressing yourself compared to me using voice and my facial expressions. So usually, if you give some opinions, on complex topics like society and philosophy, oftentimes I don't get what you mean because a simple sentence cannot express it. So I can, nothing I can do. So that's why I'm thinking, maybe we can do a, you guys do a talk and we can start to talk to each other and learn things, and so we don't get beaten by AI and technology and things like that. Okay, that's it. That's it for today, I think. What else? So George, for example, George says a lot of what we call Western philosophy is actually Near Eastern philosophy. Like what do you mean? I don't know what do you mean. Yeah, like to me, Western philosophy is has roots in Greek philosophy. Greek. When we think about Greek philosophy, that's ancient, from 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Greek philosophy, which became, ingrained into Rome, the Rome Empire. Then you have Christianity, so that's what I think about, that, that's what I think. That's Western philosophy. But George always have very interesting ideas, and I like George's ideas. But George says a lot of what we call Western philosophy is actually Near Eastern philosophy. Hmm. So what do you mean? And George says Western philosophy is pretty young. You mean American philosophy? So I don't get what you mean. And George says largely based in Near Eastern philosophy but divergent. Okay, so Near Eastern, what do you mean by that? You mean Indian, the ancient Indian civilization, with their Sanskrit, uh, script, 3,000 years old script also. So yeah, so I don't, so what I'm talking about here is that there is a problem when I go on to Xa Talk Show, and when you guys expressing opinions, you guys' opinions don't have much power. I mean, you can, unless you guys go on voice, and so go on voice is another thing. So okay, so George says Greeks aren't Western. Okay, so yeah, but then that becomes what how you define Western. Because for example, the way I'm thinking right away is that Greek, for example, Europe is named after Europa, which came from Greek mythology. Greek Europa, Europe. So if you say Greek philosophy is not Western philosophy, then it becomes to me then it's an issue of how do you define Western. So maybe we so that's the direction we have to talk. So anyway, that's about it today. Okay, so yeah, I think yeah that's 1 hour yet. Let's see. Let's go back to Google. 1 hour. Okay, goodbye, guys. Have a good day. Bye. And go to my website and buy my stuff. Buy keyboards. Buy stuff. Okay. And this girl, let me tell you, she's got. Oh my God! Looking at this girl with huge boobs, I spent hours digging into the history of linguistics and the gaming industry in Japan, and the mythology of ancient mythology of Chinese and Japanese culture about these flowers, the story, the her background story, and lots of things, and also Western Greek mythology. You see, she holds this weapon. This is scythe. This is from Reaper. Kind of the Reaper. And then I actually went to YouTube to look at what exactly is a scythe. How do you use it? So I went to YouTube. There's videos, and indeed there are people using it today. You use a scythe to cut the floors or weeds or grains. Wheats you have to eat. You so I actually learned what is a scythe like in real life, because the scythe always looked strange to me. The Reaper. And by the way, Reaper, which is from, again, Greek mythology mostly, they Reaper do not always hold a scythe. You started to read, Wikipedia, for example, and other places. You started to read, and so Reaper, you started to read about the history of Reaper. So actually, so there's a lot of things about this. But anyway, that's it for today. No, scythe is ergonomic. Oh, George, don't get it wrong. Scythe is very ergonomic. The straight scythe you see here, that's not reality. You have to go to YouTube to see the real scythe. Oh, by the way, they make it in Australia. George, your country. Like there's this company who is famous for making scythe. So they are in Australia. That's what I've seen. There's a YouTube. It's a scythe. Okay, you have to check it out, and it is ergonomic. Okay. So okay, bye.